Good morning and welcome, everybody. Don't mind the cold. It's always a sunny day in Bethel Park. Now, thank you all for coming. This is just a big day for the Bethel Park Volunteer Fire Department, Municipal Council, and really the residents of Bethel Park. I'm going to talk a little bit about the history of the department. I'll be brief, not to worry. But actually, the fire department started, the Bethel Park Volunteer Fire Department started in 1927. And it's believed the first fire station was up shortly up the road at Mesta in Brightwood Road is where it started. And then between there and 1949, it moved down to where it is today at the Brightwood location. The last building that is no longer here was built, I believe, in 1949, which housed the fire department for many, many years. And it truly has done a lot of wonderful things in protecting the community on a volunteer basis. Back in 2009 and 2010, the department was really looking to the future and determine where the department was going to get the funding. They had aging facilities, and they worked basically on donations from the community. With donations being flat, they really didn't know what to do. So what they did is they had an evaluation of the building done. They reached out to Municipal Council and wanted to sit down and talk to us and what we could do to help them preserve the volunteer fire department. This all started for me on, I believe it was July 27th in 2010, where a subcommittee of Municipal Council met with a group from the fire department. The fire department group over the years included Joe Howe, Dan Moore, Bob Brown, Ed Schmidt, Dave Gerber, Bill Wiles, Jeff Goethe, and Jeff Pritchard were some of the people from the department that sat down with myself, John Pape, Jim Hannon, Jim McLean, Brandon Colella, and Jack Allen, and really had a lot of meetings to talk about what we could do to work together. We wanted to preserve the department as a volunteer organization. So after many meetings, and we didn't always agree, but we agreed to disagree, and what we did is came up with a plan to really put funding in place to preserve the facilities of the fire department. And in May of 2013, we determined to put a question on the ballot and give the residents of Bethel Park an opportunity to share whether they wanted to support the fire department or not with a dedicated funding source that would handle all the buildings and it would handle the new construction of the fire department here in Brightwood Road. What brings us here today is it passed overwhelmingly. And it's really to all the work and dedication of the volunteer firemen over the years that the community saw the value in what you do. We may not always appreciate or say, but I think that vote really showed that the people in the community really do support Bethel Park's volunteer fire department. So what we've done is all the properties have been dedicated over to the municipality. We will be the owners, and we will be in charge of the maintenance. We'll be in charge of the construction of the new building. And the firemen can do what they do best, and that's fight fires. It's a dedicated tax that goes into a separate fund in the municipal budget, and really it's only to be spent on fire departments. So I applaud the efforts of the firemen, the members of council, and really the community. I want to thank them for voting in favor of the dedicated millage rate to be able to fund the new station in the operations of the facilities for the fire department and really preserve this volunteer organization for many years to come. This time I would like to invite Mayor Jack Allen to say a few words.
Actually, I think you've said everything. So there's not much left, Tim. So I'd like to thank everyone for coming out today. One of the coldest days of the year, but we're used to that. It's also the last day of February, and daylight savings starts next Saturday. So the days will be longer and everything will be good. I also wanted to thank the committee. We've been meeting for quite a few years now. Tim mentioned a name both from the municipality side and the fire department side. And I also want to echo what he said about the people in Bethel Park, because without them, we actually wouldn't be standing here today doing this. So there's a lot going on in Bethel this year, a lot of commercial development, a lot of residential development, and this fire department will be the crown jewel of the whole thing. And we will enjoy every day driving at Brightwood Road and watching the the progress of the building. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor. It's always nice to go first. I would like to also acknowledge some of the people from our municipal staff, Bill Spagnol, Judy Miller, Jerry Duke, Susie Dolinar, our Public Works Department for setting everything up today. And if you did have a chance, we have our new police chief, Tim O'Connor, is here with us today. We want to welcome him to the community, and I'm glad he took the time to come and really see what really goes on. At this time, I'd like to introduce our Congressman, Tim Murphy.
Thank you. I'll add my gratitude to the citizens of Bethel Park who made this happen. You know, our firemen, as was said, should be out fighting fires, getting in shape, getting their training, taking care of their equipment, and not having to always be worrying about fundraisers or keeping the lights on in the building. It's more or less keeping our home safe, so we do appreciate that. By our, I mean because although I live in a different community, I also know that Bethel Park is a backup when another community has a fire. So it really benefits all of the South Hills from the superb training and the professionalism of the Bethel Park Volunteer Fire Department. And in addition to what citizens have done in terms of some millage increase and the fundraising help, I know on the federal level we brought $106,000 to this fire department over the years. We'll continue to try and do that. But the main thing is, let's all be grateful for the things that our fire departments do for us to keep us safe, to take care of us on days like this when none of us want to be out in the cold, but they'll still be out there when that call comes. Our gratitude and our prayers for their safety goes with them. Thank you very much.
At this time, I'd like to introduce our State Senator, Matt Smith.
Thank you, Tim. It's a real honor for me to be here as someone who was born and raised in Bethel Park and certainly knows the value of what the fire department and all the public safety professionals do for those of us who live in the community. It really is a wonderful day. I'm honored to congratulate not only the fire department and everyone who is a part of the fire department, but our local elected officials, local government here in Bethel Park, who always do such a great job at being fiscally responsible with making these kinds of investments. Congratulations to the entire community. And as I said, actually Chief Gerber and I went to high school together, so we have an unspoken pact. He won't talk about what I was like in high school. I won't talk about what he was like in high school, and that's, I think, worked well for us over the years. So we'll hopefully keep it that way. But again, congratulations. Thank you to everyone involved in the fire department for what you do in running towards danger while the rest of us have the luxury of running away from it. So thank you for everything that you do, and congratulations on a job well done here today. Thank you.
Thank you. This time I'd like to introduce our State Representative, John Marr.
Thank you, Tim. I think everything that should be said has been said, so I'm going to be extremely brief and just say thank you. Thank you to the firemen who volunteer so much time. Thank you to all those in the municipality who had a hand in bringing this day. This has been a day long coming, and I'm all ready to go break some dirt. So.
Thank you, John. At this time, I'd like to introduce our State Representative, Rick Saccone.
Thank you. Way too many politicians up here, right? Listen, the people of Bethel Park have spoken, and they have said that they support our fire department here, and I'm so glad to also support them and add my voice to that. You don't get thanked enough, so I thank you again for what you do, and we can't thank you enough. I'm on the Emergency Responders Committee in Harrisburg, and I pledge my support to help you guys. Whatever you need, I will also be there to help you. So God bless you all, and thank you, and congratulations.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to introduce our County Council Representative, Sue Means.
Well, first I want to say thank you for inviting me. It's an honor to be here today. I want to say congratulations on behalf of County Council, and I just want to give a great shout out to volunteerism, because that's what makes America great, is our volunteerism. And and a lot of words have already been said, but one thing hasn't been said. The families of the firemen make great sacrifice. They give a lot. They allow their spouses to come and put a lot of time and effort. And we just so much appreciate it. And our thoughts and prayers are with them all. And thank you all for your efforts to keep Bethel Park safe, and God bless America.
At this time, I'd like to introduce our district judge, Ron Arnone.
Thank you. Thanks, Mr. President, members of council, mayor, citizens, distinguished guests. It's truly a great time to be in Bethel Park with solid leadership and a positive direction with great growth and development. We're fortunate to live in a community with much opportunity and good fellowship. The people here are good, hard-working folks with huge hearts and much compassion for one another. Today is not only a groundbreaking for this great firehouse, but it's a groundbreaking for the very vitality of Bethel Park and the volunteer fire department and the wonderful, well-trained professional men and women, Eva, yes, women, who give their time to this great endeavor to keep our community safe. I've been supportive of this endeavor throughout its very beginnings, and I believe that it's a great asset and will serve the residents of Bethel Park for many years to come. God bless this fire company, the members, and this great day. Thank you.
Now I'd like to introduce the president of the fire department, Jeff Pritchard.
Thank you. What a great day. I'd really like to thank everybody for coming out on such a cold day to help us celebrate the groundbreaking for the new fire station here in Bethel Park. It's certainly a huge milestone for our volunteer organization, probably the largest that I'll ever see in my lifetime. I've been a member of this fire company for over 28 years now, and until recently, I never thought we would be standing here today, breaking ground for the construction of the new fire station and training center for the community. However, this did not happen without a lot of assistance, guidance, and hard work from many people and organizations. Several years ago, it was determined that our old station was in a state of disrepair and needed to be replaced. Unfortunately, we realized that we would not be able to fund this project strictly on donations. The generosity of the community was barely enough for us to keep up with the expenses needed to run the fire company, let alone allowing us to take on the debt service for a new building. As Tim had mentioned, our executive team had meetings with the government leaders beginning at the federal level and every level from there down to our local leaders to discuss every possible plan to keep our fire company financially strong. Our federal, state, and county leaders met with us and discussed our dilemma. However, their final comments were always the same, that this was a local community issue and that funding would need to come from the municipal level. Bethel Park Council teamed up and worked with our executive team to develop a long-term financial plan, with the final outcome being the creation of a referendum which would give the people of Bethel Park the opportunity to vote on providing dedicated financial support for the fire company. We were very pleased. No, we were ecstatic that the residents of the municipality overwhelmingly agreed to the referendum to provide dedicated funding for the Bethel Park Volunteer Fire Company, which would include the construction of the new fire station. Since that time, our building committees and executive members have had ongoing meetings with the members of council and other municipal leaders to hone this plan and to work with the architects to come up with the end product. I am honored to be part of this ceremony, and this will certainly be one of the highlights with my career with this organization. There's so many people to thank for their support and efforts, and I'd like to recognize a few of them at this time. First, I would like to recognize our elected officials that had a huge impact on getting this project off the ground, as well as providing us with their full support throughout this endeavor. These folks are Mayor Cliff Morton, Mayor Jack Allen, Council President Tim Mowry, Councilman Jim Hannon, Councilman Jim McLean, Councilman Brendan Kalala, Councilman Mark O'Brien, Councilwoman Lori Gibbons, Councilman John Pape, and Councilman Paul Dixon. Next, there have been several key municipal leaders that have given a lot of their time to support this project as well. Municipal Manager Bill Spagnol, Municipal Planner Jerry Duke, and Finance Director Joe Villela. I'd like to next recognize the principals from our architectural firm, Pacheco Ross, which is David Pacheco, Dennis Ross, and Mark Landon. We also have a group of members that are referred to as our Core Four, and these four gentlemen have been involved in this project intimately from its inception. These members are Ed Schmidt, recording secretary and new building chairman, Dave Gerber, our fire chief, Bill Wiles, who's our fire company treasurer, and Jeff Goethe, who is a member of the board of directors. In addition, there have been so many fellow volunteer firefighters that have stepped up to the plate as co-chairs and committee members to assist in reviewing every aspect of these plans to assure that our new home is constructed and not fitted properly. There are too many to mention, but their hard work and dedication will shine once this project is completed. Lastly, and most importantly, I would like to thank the residents of the municipality of Bethel Park. I feel that I can speak for every member of our organization to offer our sincere appreciation for your financial and moral support. Without this support, this project would still be a dream. Thank you.
At this time, I'd like to introduce the Fire Chief, Dave Gerber.
Good morning. I'd like to start out by thanking everybody for coming out today. Thanking Mayor Allen for having us here, along with Council President Tim Mowry, all the other members of Council. The Bethel Park Volunteer Fire Company opened its doors and started providing fire and rescue protection to the residents of Bethel Park, which was Bethel Township at the time, in 1927. The population of Bethel Township in 1927 was approximately 5,400 people. Back then, Bethel Township was made up of coal mines and farmlands, and the fire department was made up of 11 members, and their first truck was not quite fully equipped Model T. By 1950, Bethel Township had become Bethel Park, and the population was up to a little over 11,000 people, and the fire company was planning a new fire station to serve the residents here. The new 14,500 square foot building opened just behind us here in 1954. The building served as Bethel Park Volunteer Fire Company's headquarters and main station, and also served the residents here in Bethel Park for 60 years. It housed the fire apparatus, accommodated many fire department meetings, held many training sessions, and housed many other firemen for the evening due to emergency disasters, and played host to many of bingo games, parties, and weddings, amongst other things. The old Braywood Station responded to its last call on March 3rd, 2014 at 12:19 in the afternoon, and signed off the air at 9:17 that evening. Since the old Braywood Station opened in 1954, the population of Bethel Park has grown to over 32,000 people. Bethel Park has several shopping districts. The largest include South Hills Village Mall and Village Square Mall, several strip malls, several 7- and 8-story apartment and office buildings, several large medical office complexes, and an industrial complex, and Port Authority's light rail transit hub. Bethel Park has around 5,000 kids that go to public and private schools, grades K through 12, and that's almost what the population was in Bethel Park when the department formed. That being said, the needs of this community have changed drastically regarding fire and emergency services protection since the old Brightwood Station was built in 1954. There's been a lot of hard work by the members of your all-volunteer fire company, along with past Mayor Morton, Mayor Allen, Council President Tim Mowry, the members of the liaison committee from Municipal Council itself, and the municipal staff to help ensure that this building is about to begin construction is capable of helping members of your fire department provide the level of fire and emergency services that this community needs and deserves. The old building was a 14,500 square foot building. The new building will be over 21,000 square feet. The old truck bay had 4 bays totaling 4,000 square feet, where we had to double park vehicles and we had to shuffle vehicles around to get out what exactly we needed. The new truck bay will have 5 bays totaling 6,200 square feet. One of the bays will be a drive-through bay for the ladder truck. 2 of the other bays will be double the length so that we can have room to pack hose and work with the vehicles inside without having to be outside in the elements, putting the truck back in service after a call. The new building will give the leadership team of the fire company adequate office space. The old building had 2 offices that 8 people shared. 3 chiefs shared an office that was actually an old shower stall with 3 desks crammed into it. The shower nozzle and valves were still on the wall there and operable. The new station will have adequate office space for the executive officers, the chiefs, the line officers of the fire company. The old station had very little to no storage. The new station will have storage rooms for gear and hose. It will have a room to wash and clean turnout gear and hose. It will have a room dedicated for radio equipment and pagers. It will have a vehicle exhaust removal system. So every time that the vehicles get started in the engine bay, the exhaust will be removed instead of filling the garage with the diesel exhaust. The new station will have overnight facilities to provide firefighters with a place to rest when they are on standby for major calls and emergencies. In the old building, I spent many a night sleeping on an old couch that was donated by some of our older members. It wasn't always the comfiest. The new station will have a training room set up to help the members of the fire company so they can get classroom training and stuff that they needed without having to go cross town to North Park for training. In today's fire service, there are more and more problems that the firefighters need to be prepared for. Our new facility will have a 600-square-foot, 3-story training tower. This tower will help provide the members get their hands-on training that they need to help to ensure that the Bethel Park residents have the highest trained firefighters possible. We believe that with this building, it will help in our recruitment and retention of firefighters, as well as provide the highest level of fire and rescue services possible for the residents of Bethel Park for the next 50 years. Once again, I just want to thank everybody. Thank Tim, members of council, Mayor Allen, past Mayor Morton, for all your support. We've put an awful lot of work into this over the last 5 or 6 years to do that. And along with that, I believe Sue mentioned all of our wives and stuff. My wife stays home with 4 kids while I'm out doing all this stuff, and there's weeks that I have meetings 5 nights in a row after I worked all day. So they're the ones that get credit more than we do. We just happen to have to put the time in. They're all the spouses and everybody. They're the ones that deserve some of the credit for all of this too. So with that, once again, thank you. We are extremely excited about this. I can't wait to get started. They're supposed to start digging Tuesday, so we're excited. Thank you very much.
Okay, the next person, I'll make a few comments about. Ed Schmidt was the recording secretary and the chair of the new building committee. And I'm sure for the last 4+ years, when he saw my phone number come up on his phone or saw an email from me, he cringed. So now that we're building the new building, I'm going to feel the same way.
Thank you, Mr. Myrie. You'll notice as I read my one-page notes here that I've shared this with my fellow firefighters back here, so you'll recognize some of the things that I'm going to say here. Good morning, everyone. My name is Ed Schmidt. I am the recording secretary of the company as well as the new building committee chairman. On July 27th, 2010, Dan Moore, Bob Brown, Dave Gerber, Joe Howell, and myself met with the Bethel Park Municipal Council members Tim Myrie, Jim Hannon, Jack Allen, and Lori Gibbons to discuss a dilemma we were having, that being a deteriorating fire station on Brightwood Road. This endeavor actually began in 2005 when the fire company conducted a feasibility study completed by a local engineering firm to determine if the Brightwood Fire Station could be renovated. The summary of that study, albeit not a surprise, was the fire station was beyond repair and had to be removed if we were to do anything. So in April of 2011, 4 members of the fire company, being Dave Gerber, Bill Wiles, Jeff Goethe, and I, traveled to Overland Park, Kansas to attend a convention sponsored by Firehouse Magazine on how to build fire stations. Here we had the opportunity to visit with many architects and vendors specializing in the art of fire station construction. Upon our return, we interviewed local architects, and once we completed our comprehensive review, we chose the architectural firm Pacheco Ross of Voorheesville, New York. It goes without saying that with over 100 fire stations designed and built by Pacheco Ross architects and having won numerous awards for their designs, we're proud to have them as part of our team. I, too, would like to thank the Bethel Park municipal leaders, especially their team that included Council President Tim Myrie, Councilman Jim Hannon, Councilman Jim McLean, Councilman Brandon Colella, and Mayor Jack Allen. After operating independently for over 80 years, it was a huge leap for the fire company to reach out to council and request their assistance and guidance on this project. But they saw our need and worked with us to create a bond that is unique in the firefighting world. They kept an open mind and stayed focused on their mission, and that of providing efficient, first-class emergency services to the residents and businesses of Bethel Park. Our arrangement and the path that was taken to fund the building operations of the Volunteer Fire Company is being recognized beyond our boundaries. Fire companies and municipal leaders from around the state and beyond have reached out to us to discuss the funding arrangement between the fire company and the municipality. Our leaders have truly created a relationship that will be emulated by others. There are 75 volunteers in our fire company. These are 75 men and women that donate thousands of hours of their time to assure the safety of our residents and businesses. This fire station, to many, is simply a building. To the volunteer firefighters, it's a tool that allows us to train, study, meet, and function as an integral part of the Emergency Services Department of Bethel Park. To all of us, this building is a symbol of pride. Through the efforts of everyone, our residents and businesses, our leaders and volunteers, we're all proud to say we are from Bethel Park. Thank you.
At this time, I would like to introduce Dave Pacheco from Pacheco Ross Architects, who designed the building.
Thank you very much. First off, congratulations on this very special milestone day. Those who've been integrally involved understand the sheer amount of work that has brought us to this moment. And while countless hours of work remain, we know that now we are much closer to the end than the beginning. And to see the project take physical form over the next year will be exciting and satisfying in ways that cannot be described at this moment. In my study and design of more than 200 fire stations across North America, it's fair to say that I've seen my fair share of fire departments, municipalities, and project committees. And I can honestly say without hesitation that the project team for this facility is among the best we have ever worked with. And your firefighters are second to none. The team includes, but is not limited to, the building committee, the fire department, elected officials, municipal employees, architects, engineers, and now contractors who will build the building. But we don't forget the public, who overwhelmingly approved and supported this project and are the beneficiaries of its services. As we embark on the construction of this new state-of-the-art building, we, the designers, have a sincere and simple wish for many years of lives and property saved and the safe return from each and every call of all those volunteers who respond from this facility. Thank you for entrusting the design of so important a structure to us, and again, congratulations.
Now for the person, the company that's going to be building this, Tomlin Construction, Tom Berletic.
Thank you. Good morning. My name is Tom Berletic, and my wife Linda and I are the owners of Tomlin Construction. Also here with me today is my Director of Field Operations, Rich Watson, and his wife Lindsay. I've been involved in many commercial construction projects over the past 25 years, and I understand how challenging it can be to take a vision and to get it to the point where we are today. So I'd like to congratulate the municipality of Bethel Park and the Bethel Park Volunteer Fire Company for getting us to this point. As you can see, we started to mobilize last week, and next week we'll continue with soil and erosion controls, and then finally get to do what we like to do the best, and that's make a mess out of the project site. All kidding aside, on behalf of Tomlin Construction and our team members, I would like to express our excitement and our gratitude for being selected as your general contractor. We look forward to starting construction, and we look forward to seeing it through to its successful completion. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I will make one prediction. In June of 2016, when we're here to open the building, it will be much warmer. Now is the time something I don't know, as we embarked on this process, if we really knew ever was going to get started or what was going to happen. And now it kind of really hits home that we got the drawings, the old building is gone. Join us for the ceremonial first shovel of dirt. And thank everybody for coming today.
shovel in. I'm going to throw it forward.
Throwing it that.
Toss forward.
Tim's not going to throw it this way.
On three, right?
Go that way, Tim.
1, 2, 3. Thank you. And one more. Good luck.
This is good exercise. This is practice for snow tomorrow, guys.
Nate, you ready? Oh, yeah. Ready? Wait, One, 2, 3.